Okay, so now let us discuss this particular example. Okay, suppose set A is given with 4 elements 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and one R is defined on this set A, and R contents are given like 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 4, 2, 2, 3, 1, 3, 4, and 4, 4. Okay, now we have to check whether this R is reflexive or irreflexive or neither of them, okay. This is question. We have to check whether R is reflexive or R is irreflexive or R is neither reflexive nor irreflexive. Okay, so how to check this? See, for that either you can use a matrix method or even you can use digraph method. Okay, so if we want to use matrix method, then how to use that method? See, how many elements? 4 elements. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and horizontally also you have to write 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, so 1, 1 is present. So here 1, 1, you have to write 1. Okay, so 1, 2 is also present, 1. 1, 3 is absent. So for that here you have to write 0. 1, 4 is present. So this 1, 4 is present. So row 1 and column 4. This first element will indicate row and second will indicate column. Okay, then 2, 2 is present. So this one will be 1. Okay, then 3, 1 is present. So this is 1. Then 3, 4 is also present. Okay, and 4, 4 is also present. Remaining all are 0. Okay, now using matrix, if you want to check whether this R is reflexive or not, then what condition we have discussed? All diagonal element must be 1. Okay, so here all diagonal elements are not 1. Here this is 0. So this condition is false. All diagonal elements are not 1. Okay, so therefore this is not reflexive. Now for irreflexive, what condition given? All diagonal element must be 0. Here all diagonal elements are not 0 because here there is only 1 0 present. So therefore this is not irreflexive. Okay, so if this is not reflexive, not irreflexive, then that is neither reflexive nor irreflexive relation. Okay, and even by using a digraph method also you can verify this. Okay, so if you want to use digraph method, then you have to draw digraph. So one how many elements are there? 4 elements. So suppose this is 1, this is 2, this is 3, and this one is 4. So 1, 1 is present, means here there must have loop. Then 1, 2 means from 1 to 2 we have to draw edge. Then 1, 4, from 1 to 4 we have to draw edge. Then 2, 2 means on 2 we have to draw loop. Okay, then from 3 to 1 means this edge must be present. Then 3, 4, this edge must be present. Okay, and 4, 4 on, sorry, not here on 3, on 4 we have to draw loop. Okay, so using diagram, if you want to check whether this is reflexive, then for all element there must have an loop. Okay, but here only for 2, 1, and 4 there is a loop. On 3 loop is not present. So therefore this is not reflexive. Okay, again from diagram, if you want to check whether this is irreflexive, then no element must contain loop. Okay, so here actually 3 elements containing loop. So only 3 is not having loop. Apart from that, all other are having loop. Okay, so to check whether it is irreflexive or not, no element must contain loop. Okay, but this condition is also false here because 1, 2, 4 are having loop. So therefore this is not irreflexive. Okay, and if it is not reflexive, not irreflexive, then obviously that is neither reflexive nor irreflexive. Okay, now see 2 different theorems we have to discuss. Okay, so number of binary relation. Okay, so see what statement they have given here. If a set has n element, then number of binary relation that can be defined on A will be 2 raised to n square. Okay, means suppose we are having one set. Okay, set A with 4 elements in it. Okay, 1, 2, 3, and 4. And if someone asks you question like how many binary relation we can define on this set A, Then for that, which formula you have to use? You have to use 2 raised to n square. okay, where n is total number of element present in set A. So how many elements are present? So value of n will be 4 here, okay. So if you insert here 2 raised to 2 raised to 2 means 2 raised to 4, okay, means 16, okay. So to check how many binary relation we can define on particular set, we have to use this formula 2 raised to n square, okay. Again, if someone asks you like how many reflexive relation we can define on particular set, then see this theorem is given. The number of reflexive relation R that can be defined on set A with n element will be 2 raised to n in bracket n minus 1, okay. Means if someone asks you like how many reflexive relation we can define on this set A, then for that which formula you have to use? 2 raised to n in bracket n minus 1. So what is n here? 4. So this will become like 2 raised to 4 in bracket 4 minus 1, okay. So this will become like 4 minus 1 3, okay. So 3 into 4 12. So 2 raised to 12. These many reflexive relation we can define on this particular set A, okay. So to find reflexive relation, this particular expression you have to remember, okay. Fine. Now see, on this point they may ask multiple choice question, okay. They may give you any set and they may ask you like how many binary relation we can define, how many reflexive relation we can define, or they may give this type of diagram and may ask whether this is reflexive or irreflexive and so on, okay. Now let us discuss next point, that is symmetric, asymmetric and antisymmetric relation, okay. Now see, here they have given definition for symmetric, okay. Just read this statement, okay. Later on we'll obviously discuss one example, okay. A relation R on set A is called as symmetric if whenever A are B, then we must have B are A. Whenever, how to read this? A is having relation with B, then there must have B whose relation must be present with A, okay. Now let us discuss one example here, okay. Again for symmetry, here we are discussing example, okay. Suppose one set again A is given, okay, with 4 element. Let us assume that again set A with 4 element, okay, and one R is also given with some element, okay. Let me write element 1 comma 2, then 2 comma 1, okay, then 2 2, okay, then 3 1, okay, then further elements 1 3, okay, then 3 4, then 4 3, okay, and then finally 4 4, okay. And if someone asks you whether this is which relation, now we are discussing symmetric relation, okay. If someone asks you whether this is symmetric relation, then how to check this? See, here in R, if 1 2 is present, then same R must contain reverse of this, that is 2 1 as well. See, 1 2 is present, then 2 1 must be present, okay. If 3 1 is present, then 1 3 must be also present, okay. If 3 4 is there, then 4 3 must be also present, okay. And what about 2 2 and 4 4? If we take reverse of this, then also we'll get 2 2. So no need to check reverse for 2 2 and 4 4 here. So for 1 2 2 1 is there, for 3 1 1 3 is also there, for 3 4 4 3 is also there, 2 2 4 4 they are same, so no point in reversing this. Therefore for all elements, for all such elements, their reverse is also present. That's why here R is called as symmetric relation, okay. If reverse is present for all such element, then that is called as symmetric, okay. Now in this set, if we add one more element, suppose if we add one more element, like say suppose 2 3, okay. Now in this case, see, for 1 2 2 1 there, for 3 1 1 3 is there, okay, for 3 4 4 3 is there. As I said earlier, 2 2 4 4 no need to reverse, okay, because after doing reverse we are getting same. But for this element now 2 3 3 2 is not present in this, okay. So if this is your R, then this R is not symmetric, okay. Then this particular R is not symmetric. Getting this point? Okay, why? Because here there exists one pair 2 3 for which 3 2 is not there in this. Therefore now R is not symmetric. Getting when R is symmetric and when R is not symmetric? Fine. Okay. Now next definition we have to discuss. Okay, that is see asymmetric. Okay, what definition they have given for asymmetric? See, what we have discussed, symmetric and not symmetric. Okay, we have discussed example of symmetric and not symmetric. Okay, now we are discussing what? Now we are discussing asymmetric. Don't get confused between not symmetric and asymmetric. Okay, now what definition they have given for asymmetric? A relation R on A is called as asymmetric if whenever A or B, then B must not have any relation with A. Okay, now what is meaning of this statement is, suppose here, see, here they have mentioned example. Okay, if A is given as 1 2 3 4 and R is given as 1 2, then 2 3 3 4 4 2. Here see, for 1 2 2 1 is not there, for 2 3 3 2 is not there, for 3 4 4 3 is not there, for 4 2 2 4 is not there. For all element their reverse is not present. For all, this condition is required. Okay, for all pair, if reverse is not present, then that relation is called as asymmetric relation. Here it is called as what? Asymmetric relation. Okay, fine. Now let us discuss next definition. Okay, that is antisymmetric. What definition they have given for antisymmetric? See, a relation R on set A is called as antisymmetric if whenever A or B and B is having relation with A, then A must be equal to B. Okay, so then it is called as what? Antisymmetric. Now if you want to example of antisymmetric, now in this case, see, let us discuss this particular example so that your concept will get clear. Okay, now suppose let us solve this example. Okay, again suppose A is given as 1 2 3 and 4. Okay, and we are having R as well. Okay, so let us, R is equal to 1 2, then 1 3, then 3 3, and then 3 4. Okay, now what we have discussed? Initially we have discussed symmetric. Okay, so for symmetric, what condition they have given? For symmetric, see, if 1 2 is present, then 2 1 must be also present here. For 1 2, see, 2 1 is not present, so definitely this is not symmetric. This R is not symmetric because for first element itself 1 2 is there but 2 1 is not there. Okay, then what we have discussed? Then we have discussed asymmetric. Okay, so for asymmetric, what condition they have given? For asymmetric, for all element reverse should not be present. Okay, now for 1 2 their reverse is not present. For 1 3 3 1 is also not present. For 3 4 4 3 is also not present. But for 3 3, see, its reverse is 3 3 itself, and that is same element. So here exists one element in this relation where their reverse is also there. So therefore this particular R is also not asymmetric. See, not symmetric, also this is not asymmetric because there exists one element whose reverse is there in this R. Okay, if you get confused, pause this video, try to solve this example at your own. Okay, now antisymmetric, we have to check whether this R is antisymmetric or not. Okay, then see, for antisymmetric, what condition they given? For 1 2 2 1 must be also present. Okay, for 1 2 2 1 is not present. For 1 3 3 1 is not present. For all element their reverse must be present, like symmetric. Okay, but here reverse is not there for 1 2 itself. Okay, if this is the case, then this is not anti-symmetric as well, anti-symmetric. Okay, so these are is not symmetric, not asymmetric, not anti-symmetric as well. Okay, now I hope you are getting this particular point. Okay, now let us discuss two more theorems here. Okay, now just like this previous example. Okay, so if you want to check how many binary relation we can define on this set A, then we have to use this expression. Okay, for reflexive relation we have to use this one. Okay, for symmetric relation, if you want to check how many symmetric relation we can define, symmetric relation we can define on this set A, then for that we have to use this particular expression, 2 raised to n in bracket n plus 1 divided by 2. Okay, so n means this set n, how many elements are there? 4. So 2 raised to 2 in bracket 2 plus 1 divided by 2. Okay, means this will become like this 2 will get cancelled, so 2 raised to 3, so we will get 6. So how many symmetric relation we can define on this set? We can define 2 raised to 3. Okay, 2 raised to 3 means 4, not 6, it is 8. So 8 symmetric relation we can define on this particular set. Okay, similarly, if you want to check how many reflexive relation we can define on particular set, then what I said, we have to use this particular expression. Okay, so these expressions you have to remember. Okay, for binary 2 raised to n square, then for reflexive 2 raised to n in bracket 10 minus 1. Okay, and then for symmetric relation 2 raised to n in bracket n plus 1 by 2. Okay, now let us discuss next definition. Okay, so next definition is transitive relation. Transitive relation. Okay, see what definition they have given for transitive relation. A relation R on set A is called as transitive if whenever A is having relation with B and B is having relation with C, then there must have A having relation with C. Okay, I repeat, whenever A is having relation with B and B is having relation with C, then A must have relation with C. Okay, now suppose let us take one example. Okay, with the help of example we will just discuss transitive closure, transitive relation point. Okay, which point we have to discuss here? Transitive relation. Okay, now see, suppose set A is given like this, 1, 2 and 3. Okay, and one R is defined on this particular set A, and R is given like this, 1 comma 2. Okay, then 2 comma 3. Okay, and then 1 comma 3. Okay, now if someone asks whether R is transitive relation or not, then what definition they have given for transitive? This definition, when A is having relation with B and B is having relation with C, then there must have A having relation with C. So ABC means nothing but this 1, 2, 3. Okay, ABC there they have taken in general. Now here normal numbers they have given. Okay, now if we observe this R, see, 1 is having, how to read this? 1 is having relation with 2. Then how to read this? 2 is having relation with 3. And then same set contain what? 1 is having relation with 3. Means 1 to 2, 2 to 3, and then 1, 3 is also present. 1, 2, 2, 3 is there. Then in that case 1, 3 must be also present. Then in that case this R can be called as transitive relation. It's simply like if A is having relation with B and then B is having relation with C, then there must have what? A having relation with C. Okay, like this. So 1, 2 is there, 2, 3 is there, so 1, 3 must be also present. Then that is called as what? Then that is called as transitive relation. Okay, now I hope you are getting this particular point. Okay, now let us discuss next point, that is equivalence relation. Okay, now we have discussed various properties like reflexive, irreflexive, not reflexive, symmetric. Okay, then now we'll just discuss next point, that is equivalence relation. Okay, now its definition is important. See, a relation R on set A is called as equivalence relation if it is reflexive, symmetric and transitive. If relation is reflexive, symmetric and transitive, then that is called as what? Then that is called as equivalence relation. Equivalence relation. Okay, now let us discuss one example here of equivalence relation as well. Okay, suppose, okay, now let us discuss one example of equivalence relation. Okay, which point we are discussing here? Equivalence relation. Okay, now suppose we are having one set A, okay, with these numbers. A is equal to, again suppose 1, 2, 3 and 4. Okay, and R is also given like this. R is given like this. What? 1, 1. Okay, then 2, 2, then 3, 3. Okay, then next one is 4, 4. Okay, then few more elements given, that is 2, 1, then 1, 2. Okay, then 2, 3, 3, 2, 2, 3, then 3, 2. Okay, then next one is 3, 1 and 1, 3. 3, 1 and 1, 3. Okay, now if question is like whether R is equivalence relation, we have to verify whether R is equivalence relation. So equivalence relation definition, what we have given? Relation can be equivalence if it is reflexive. If it is reflexive, then symmetric and transitive. Okay, now how to check whether R is reflexive or not? See, we have already discussed its method. Either we can draw matrix or we can draw that diagram and then we may verify. Okay, now see, one of the shortcut is how to check whether A is reflexive or not. How many elements are there? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, then in R, if 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, all such pairs are present. See here, 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4. Same, all such pairs are present, then that is called as reflexive. All are present here, so it is reflexive. Okay, this is shortcut. Okay, then for symmetric, how to check? See, symmetric means for 2, 1, 1, 2 must be present. For 2, 3, 3, 2 must be present. For 3, 1, 1, 3 must be present. Okay, and for these elements 1, 1, if we take their reverse, same element will get. So we have, in case of symmetric, we have to reverse and then we have to verify whether both are present or not. Like 2, 1, then 1, 2 is there. 2, 3, 3, 2 is present. 3, 1, 1, 3 is present. But for first 4 elements, no need to reverse, because if you do reverse of this, then you will get same element and that is there. Okay, so this condition is also true. That's why this is reflexive as well as symmetric. Okay, now to check whether this particular relation is transitive or not. Then for transitive, which condition is given? If A is having relation with B and B is having relation with C, then there must have what? A relation with C. Okay, now see, if we take this one, 2, 1, 1, 2 is there. So A, 2 is having relation with 1, 1 is having relation with 1, then 2 must have relation with 2. 2 must be present. See, 2 is there. Okay, if 2 is having relation with 3 and 3 is having relation with 2, then 2 must be present. See, 2 is there. Okay, if 3 is having relation with 1 and 1 is having relation with 3, so it is related with 1, 1 is related with 1, so this must be related with last element. This formula you have to apply for all. Okay, so 3 is also there. Okay, now see here, 1 is having relation with 1 and then 1 is having relation with 2 as well. So 1, 1, 1, 2. So 1, 2 must be present. So 1, 2 is also there. Okay, so likewise you can verify all. Okay, you will find that this relation is transitive as well. Okay, so here this relation R is reflexive, symmetric and transitive.